Hello, folks. I hope I say the name correctly for this camera. It's the CEYOMUR CY95 trail camera. This is not just an ordinary trail camera, as you could see. It has a solar panel, pretty good size one right on top. So there is an internal battery inside that is kept charged by the solar panel if you have it in the sun for a couple hours a day. Inside, it also has an area for four AA batteries, not included. Uh, and it'll use those if it uh, burns up or uses up the power from the internal battery. It'll use these. Um, so there's a little barcode here to scan with your phone or tablet to download the app, the wildlife camera app, which I have other cameras that use the same app, so that's very convenient. Here's the viewing screen. You could view the pictures, the videos, and all the menu options that you could change. And there are several resolution, quality for the pictures, for the videos. You could record audio. You could turn that off. You could have it beep every time you push a button, or you could turn that off. Um, Loop recording, time lapse. You could make it active a certain time of the day and shut off at a different other time of the day. You could take one picture all the way up to, I think, maybe 8 or 10 pictures per motion activation, which I love doing that because I use these a lot for hummingbirds. And when a hummingbird flies in front of it, it'll just start taking multiple pictures between or between 1 and I think 10. And the more you take, the more uh, good photos you're going to get. You have to go through a lot more to find them, but to find the good ones. But if you just take one photo, then it might be out of frame or blurry or whatever. But if you have it take a whole bunch, you're bound to get some good photos. And not just for birds, that's for deer, that's for bear, turkeys, squirrels, rabbits, whatever. If you use it for security, you're going to wind up getting more pictures of activity than you would if you just set it on one picture. So you could do pictures, videos, or pictures and videos together at the same time. You could change the resolution from extremely high to very low, so you save space on the SD card, which a 32 gig SD card did come with it, but you could always upgrade to a much higher grade SD card very easily. It has a 1/4x20 threaded receiver on the back for a tripod use. It does come with a small metal tripod that's fully adjustable, so you could screw that into a fence post, a board, or whatever, a tree, and then mount it on here, loosen the two screws, point this thing whichever way you want, and then lock it down. Here is the area that you would put in either a cable or a bungee cord to strap it to something. Or here is where you would use the included nylon belt with a little plastic buckle to attach it to a tree or a post or whatever. Um, so these can be used for hunting, trapping, scouting animals, just wildlife observation. You don't have to be a hunter or anything like that to use these. These work great for a lot of other things. Like I said, security, wildlife observation, wildlife management, you name it. Um, let me see what else I can describe about this. You can also put a tamper lock on here, whether it's one of the plastic zip ties that if somebody tampers with it, it'll be broken and you could tell, or you could even put a little plastic or a little padlock. However, this being plastic, it could just be twisted off and broken. But it is made to be either set down flat on something or it has these little traction, little nubby things, as well as these here. If you want to strap it to a tree or a fence post, that just gives it a little bit of traction. So you can change or you can download the app and then wind up looking at the videos and pictures from your phone or tablet on here, which is pretty neat. So the way that I would use this is if I have it outside pointing at the hummingbird feeder, I can first connect via Bluetooth. And then once it's connected Bluetooth, I could connect to it via Wi-Fi. And then once it's connected with Wi-Fi, I could view the pictures or videos. I could delete them. I could save them. I could change the settings, go from video to photo or both. I could turn off the audio recording. I could turn it on if it's not off or if it's not on already. Any of those other settings I mentioned and many, many, many more you can change on your phone or tablet via the app. Um, it does have a pretty extensive owner's manual, which kind of makes sense because there's a lot of different options, but it's not so complicated that it's difficult to use. It is definitely one of the higher grade, at least more sophisticated and um, I guess new technology with the solar panel built on top. So you do have to put it in an area where it gets several hours of sunlight a day. You can change the serial number on this to anything you want, whether it be your name, your hunting license number, or whatever. I actually put the brand CEYOMUR in for the serial number, which will show on the pictures that I include in this review, pictures and videos, and it's going to be of hummingbirds, maybe other wildlife too. If I have any recent footage, I'll add that in there. But thank you for watching. I do give this a thumbs up, 100%. Uh, like I said, I'd love the fact that I could connect to it Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and change the settings and view the pictures without having to go up, get on the ladder and open this thing up and get the card out or plug it in. Because every time you do that, you wind up moving it and it's going to have, you might turn the camera just enough to make it so it's not getting the birds in the picture frame or whatever. So doing it remotely is much easier and convenient. Um, so, all right, folks, thank you very much for watching. Have a great night and goodbye.
This is a quick overview of this CEYOMUR trail camera. Now, I've had several trail cameras over the years, and this one is relatively small compared to, physically in size, compared to the cameras I've had in the past. Namely, the cameras I've had in the past required like 10 AA batteries, and then had another external 12-volt port that you can plug in. This one is completely wireless, and there's no external ports to plug in. It comes with an internal battery, and it also comes with additional battery backups. So let me open this up and kind of show you what that looks like. So inside, generally in some of the other cases that you've seen, there is like a big huge battery pack here. That's not the case. Here, there's a battery that's built into the unit that is charged via USB-C here at the bottom. And it's not intended to be permanently plugged in. It is intended to be initially charged for USB-C. And then the additional charges come in using the solar panel at the top. It's a little blurry there. There you go. You can see a USB-C cable. A USB port. There's also an SD card port where you can actually store your photos in memory. And then it has additional backup battery support. So in the instance where your internal battery is dead and it's not charged, you can still use 1, 2, 3, 4 AA batteries to be able to supply power to it. So this is great because it has multiple backups of battery. It does have Wi-Fi support as well, and it comes with an app, and that allows you to be able to access the camera remotely on a wireless network. So it's pretty standard. I'm going to be charging this up and putting it to use, and I will update the review once I'm able to capture that. It does come with its standard mounting hardware. You can see here that it has the camera mount at the bottom, and then it has the two kind of poles that you can use your straps for, and it comes with the associated mounting hardware to be able to mount it to a tree or something along those lines, and then screw it into the screw port. Again, fully waterproof. There are no external ports. There is a solar panel at the top. It is not a significantly sized solar panel. I don't even think that's 5 volts or 5 watts. I would be surprised if that's 5 watts. I'm assuming it's more like a 3-watt power supply. That will trickle charge this internal battery. The whole goal here is to fully charge it up with USB-C initially, put this in a sunny spot that will trickle charge, and then have the internal battery backup as necessary, or the secondary backup as necessary. It does come with a lock that you can lock it in case you wanted to, or a lock port. But yeah, it's a pretty good, decent looking item. I'm going to be putting it to use shortly.